Kimberly Guilfoyle, FoxNews.com's breaking news host, coming in, and we're just now getting
quickly make the comment that what we've seen is actually a surprising rebound in auto sales, especially at the retail level. We're seeing new car demand coming back at what is a faster than expected rate if you had asked people 6 or 9 months ago. Since in fact that we might see GDP growth looking reasonably strong here in the first quarter or two. Interestingly, high oil prices.
As an industry, we're well positioned, and the way the month is shaping up, this is probably going to be the
News.com viewers, because you're handling the breaking news on that side, so you're obviously getting
also the big story there as well. Lots of concern. You even saw a lot of chatter about it online first thing even this morning, and it's important. I think Ben Bernanke is really understating the problem and the impact on the market, perhaps because he's trying to be optimistic and with a look towards the future that perhaps it won't have the impact that he fears that it will, and it'll have also the impact on the economy in terms of, you know, the average American consumer, how they feel about the economy and the markets, and in fact whether or not they're going to make decisions to travel or make investments.
And whether or not, Kelly, they're going to buy a new car or keep the one that they have and keep fixing up the one that they have. And you wrote about that this morning in the Journal.
Referring to the ahead of the tape column, just pointing out that, look, why should I hang on to this car that's a gas guzzler and continue to fix it up if I can trade in for something more fuel efficient? As we've seen, there are so many more options today than there were even just a couple of years ago for people looking for fuel mileage, and they're less expensive.
A lot of incentives out there, and that's what you need to do, stay competitive. All the big automakers, this is your time, you know, get them in there, pull them in, tell them, give them an incentive to trade that old car in.
And that's what they've been doing, Nicole, and as we're waiting for more numbers throughout the
downplay it, right? I mean, we want everyone to get into a panic or hysteria and say everything's coming to an end because of what's going on in the Middle East, but realistically, rising costs of food, of gas, of energy, these are things that are real, that impact the daily lives of people, the decisions they make, and the planning they do for the future.
And he's doing, Kelly, he's doing what he does, Fed speak. And the average American is saying,
what?
You know, give me, what are you saying, but be more specific.
Yeah, although,
address our issues.
I mean, we're at sort of this
on Fox Business, giving you the power to prosper. Both sides of the aisle, the Republicans and the Democrats, take this report, take these examples, march in there and say, let's deal with this now, line by line.
Politics. No one actually thinks that would happen. I mean, all I would say on this point is that I think if you look at, for example, the Case-Shiller index of home prices, the only bright spot in that report, in, for example, the December report, was Washington, D.C. So I think we'll know when austerity is seriously coming or hitting Washington, when you start to see it sharing in some of the pain that the rest of the nation is.
But it's politics, Kimberly. That's what you cover at
Of course it is, and that's
channel.
what the American people are so dissatisfied and disenchanted with. You know, they're really looking for a sense of responsibility from our leadership, and take a report like this and actually do something with it, make some meaningful changes that will be impactful on their lives. And, you know, so far we don't see that coming, but they can't seem to even get along or agree to be in the same room at any given time to have a meaningful discussion. It's a lot of posturing.
So lending market, both on the supply and demand side.
To American consumers who still remain a little bit skeptical about the new technology, are concerned about the high price of the Volt, and say, look, I can perhaps get a car that will cost me less, may have more mileage, and doesn't have the 5-hour time frame to charge that the Volt has.
Compete against the Toyota Prius.
Entire year.
All right. Well, Don Johnson, General Motors Vice President of U.S. Sales Operations. I'm curious to see what the next month holds for gas prices and, of course, sales of your vehicles. Say something?
I was going to say they're ahead of the curve as always on this one. That is.
Well, I mean, there's been criticism of the administration and also of American citizens, and that they are behind the curve a little bit.
Absolutely. Don't you think it's a fair criticism? I mean, really, we're standing by where the equivalent of Rome is burning. I mean, this is something that directly impacts this country and stability in the Middle East. We're seeing a domino effect there. It's something that we should be very concerned of. And you see the effect on the market. I mean, it's very clear.
It's very clear, Kelly, from a market priorities that doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I think today you're seeing that reversal a little bit, though. I mean, we came into the day, and again, everyone's obsessed with what happens on the first trading day of the month, because for the last almost year now, as goes the first day, goes the rest of the month. It kind of shapes sentiment. So you saw people coming in this morning going, the market's kind of shaking it off. Maybe we're not so concerned. Maybe oil doesn't go much higher from here. Then that all completely reverses, and we're seeing the shakeout. So I think, again, how this closes today, after we got such strong data, and potentially heading into the big jobs report on Friday, I think could be a sign that the problem is
a little bit of a wives' tale,
and people start to trade on that. So once you get a couple of months at least, so again, it's just worth keeping an eye on.
Well, ladies, you both have your opinions. Our viewers have some strong opinions. I mean, both do. Besides, finish talking on Capitol Hill. of them, you should follow them as well.
At Kim Guilfoyle, at Cheryl Casonian.
Kelly Evans with a little underscore in there, pesky little underscore.
Yeah, no, it's all good. We all were watching the Oscars. Anyway, Kelly, what's your best guess today?
I was just going to say we got some data on construction spending figures that showed that residential was strong last month, but probably going to remain the bright spots.
Apartments and farmland.
Yeah.
Because you wrote about farm country yesterday in your column.
Well, it's just that if you look at farmland values last year in the Midwest, they were up 12% year on year. In Iowa, 18%. A lot of that has to do with corn, but it's an incredibly strong part of the real estate market given the way the conditions are elsewhere. And you're still also seeing some strength in multifamily and apartment demand, and that's also coming because people are opting to rent rather than buy.
Okay, Kim?
Okay, besides the fact that I love corn, which is making me hungry. Mine is about, come on, baby, drive my car, which is, I think, the rising cost, of gas prices is going to have a significant, a profound impact on the profitability, I believe, of the travel industry. I think Americans will choose to stay home, which is going to be a big problem for the economy, and this is definitely one to watch.
Because the summer's coming.
Absolutely. Look, I mean, hello, March 1st.
Yeah, well, everybody's ready
we're on the way.
Everybody's ready for a spring vacation in the Northeast, but you're saying they may not be booking that vacation.
I'm saying they're not going to book that vacation. The way things are going right now, sorry, I like to be like, glass half full. Today, not so much.
All right. It's all right. We need another show. All right. I'll see you guys next week. All right, ladies, thanks to both of you.
Thank
Great
you.
to have you on the show. Lori Rothman, Chris